What's up everybody, welcome to another video. Hope you're doing well. Today we're talking about the 70-liter Scapers tank again. It's been a long time since I made a dedicated video about this aquarium. I think the last time I showed this aquarium was in the beginning of June. Yeah, in the beginning of June I did a full tour of all the aquariums in this room. And I think that was the last time I showed this aquarium. In that video I addressed some issues with this scape. I was not happy at all with how it was looking. I had some issues with algae, I had some issues with plant growth, the carpet. I had a dwarf hairgrass carpet. It was fully infested with moss trimmings, and I just was not happy with the layout. So in that video I asked you guys if I should rescape it completely, strip it down, start fresh, start with something new, or if I should keep it and try to fix the issues. And to be very honest with you, I was kind of leaning towards stripping it down and starting fresh. But after some discussing with my other significant half, she talked me out of it, and I'm happy that she did as well. I put quite a lot of effort into the hardscape and trying to cover the hardscape completely with the Viscodens moss. And that was only in December when I did that. So the tank is technically it's just over half a year old. So it would have been a shame to take it down so quickly already. So I'm happy that she stopped me. And I came up with a plan to fix the issues, tweak the escape a little bit, and hopefully turn it around and turn it back into something that's looking good. Alright, so let's just talk about how I applied those changes. Basically first I just started ripping out plants that I didn't want to use anymore. I thought that was the easiest thing to do first. So I removed the Ludwigia Super Red, I removed Blixa japonica, and I removed the Crypt Balancea. The Crypt Balancea was growing way too big, and the root system was insane. I think the roots were already in the front of the tank. So I removed all those plants. And I also removed the carpet, the dwarf hairgrass carpet. Using dwarf hairgrass in this scape in combination with the moss was a mistake, and I should have seen that problem coming, because whenever you trim moss, it doesn't matter how well you clean it up, small tiny bits of moss are gonna fall through that carpet, through that hairgrass, and they're gonna start growing from there. And then it's just gonna start looking very messy. After I removed all those plants, I basically lowered the water level so I could easily catch all the fish. I didn't want to put them through all the stress, and I'm also going to add some new substrate, which might leak some ammonia, so better safe than sorry. I did not catch the shrimp though, but yeah, it's just so difficult to catch all the shrimp, and especially when there's still hardscape in the aquarium, so I left the shrimp and I thought they would be okay. The next step was to remove most of the soil from the foreground, because I didn't want to use any plants in the foreground anymore, and I actually wanted to add more soil towards the back, because I wanted the plants in the background to be closer to the light so they will grow better, and I also wanted to add more nutrients to the substrate in the back. So I think I added about 6 liters of the Aquario Neo soil. That's the same soil as I'm using in the Big Shallow, and so far I'm really happy with that soil. So one thing that always bothered me about the first layout was the small gap on the left side in between the two lava rocks. I initially placed some dwarf hairgrass there to basically fill up the space, but it never really looked natural, or it just didn't make sense. So I placed another small lava rock into that hole, and I've covered it up with some Riccardia moss. So then it was time to add the new plants to the layout. So I'd already been saving a lot of Rotala Aethra and the Diplis Deandra, and I still had some good stems left from the Ludwigia Super Red. So I basically just mixed those 3 stems together and I planted them in the entire background area. And the next question was what to do with the foreground and in the middle area between the two rock formations. And initially I was thinking to just try a different carpet, maybe some Monte Carlo or some Hemi Scuba, but that idea just didn't really excite me. So instead I went for the easy option, and I just placed gravel and sand. And I'm really happy that I did that actually. The last thing I did is not going to make any sense to you guys probably. I've added more dwarf hairgrass. So I just ripped out an entire carpet of dwarf hairgrass because it was infested with moss and I didn't like it, and now I'm adding it back in. So I've only placed the hairgrass in the background. So you have the two sections of the Rotala on each side, and then in the middle we have some dwarf hairgrass. I really like how it looks right now, and I think I should be able to keep that small section. I should be able to keep that clean from moss. If it doesn't, at least I tried. So all the changes happened about a month ago. So let me show you how the tank looks right now. So yeah, I'm really happy with the changes that I made. I think the tank looks really good right now. I like how the red Rotalas look against the green of the Phoenix moss. And I like the sand as well. I think now that we have a thin layer of sand instead of a thick layer of substrate and a thick layer of dwarf hairgrass, you know, the tank looks a lot higher and the aquarium itself looks bigger in my opinion. So the only question that remains now is what fish should we add to this aquarium? I mean, in the past I had the Galaxy Rasboras together with the spotted blue eyes. And that was nice, but especially the spotted blue eyes, they're very active fish. They're very busy and they're constantly, yeah, like not really fighting with each other, but constantly interacting with each other, you know. And that kind of takes away the peacefulness of the scape. So it was a bit, sometimes, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it doesn't give you stress, but it also doesn't make you relaxed. So it's a weird feeling. So the next fish that's gonna go into this scape, I want it to be super peaceful. So hope you guys have some nice suggestions for me what you would like to see in here. I was thinking maybe some the Brigidity Rasboras, something like that, the Mosquito Rasboras, or maybe some Amber Tetras, something like that. So let me know what you guys think I should put in here. So before I wrap up this video, let's quickly go over all the equipment and the fertilizer that I'm using. So the tank itself is a 70-liter Scapers tank from Danele, measuring 50 centimeters from left to right. It's 39 centimeters front to back and it's 36 centimeters high, so it holds about 70 liters. On top of the aquarium we have the Chihiros WRGB version 2. Really like this light. I think it was my favorite light until the Skylight Hyperspot came around. And people always ask me about the Chihiros, which colors I'm using and which percentage. I basically use all colors on 100%, so it's at maximum intensity for about 8 hours. The in and outflow are the plastic pipes from Aquario, the NeoFlow Premium. Still really happy with these plastic pipes. And they are connected to a JBL E902 external canister filter, which does about 900 liters per hour. In the CO2, I was using an inline diffuser, but I just got so sick of the mist, so I switched back to a normal regular in-tank diffuser. This one is from Aquario. Really like it. It's very tiny, doesn't need any suction cups. And the CO2 system is a very simple system from Danele with a 500 gram disposable bottle and a very simple regulator. And all of that sits in an IKEA cabinet. This is the IKEA Besta. I think it's a nice cabinet for small aquariums. I did reinforce it a little bit so it can hold the weight of the Scapers tank. But it's a nice cheap cabinet. And then lastly the fertilizers. So as I mentioned, I've just added about 6 liters of the fresh soil, the Aquario Neo soil. and that contains a lot of nutrients, so I'm actually not dosing a whole lot right now. The only thing I'm dosing is a little bit of potassium and a little bit of trace elements. That's all. So I think in a few weeks I'll start dosing some nitrates and phosphates, but right now that's definitely not necessary yet. Alright, so that's it. That's the update of the 70 liter Capers tank. I hope you guys enjoyed the little rescape that I did. Don't forget to comment the fish choice that I should add in here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.